Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So basically Ethereum hasn't gone anywhere in the last couple of weeks or so. I mean, okay, a little bit more than a week, but it hasn't really gone anywhere since the 13th of April. That swing low that formed, which I've labeled as Circle 4 here, it hasn't really done anything. It's moving up in a corrective price channel. So it would suggest that we get a bit of a dip shortly, but we'll see. It hasn't started yet and the trend line is still holding. So I'm going to zoom in a minute. Honestly, the overall assumption hasn't changed at all. And therefore we are still moving in this range here between the red support line and the green resistance line here, basically a breakout point highlighted in green that is located at $3,300. And it is this swing high there, which is labeled as wave 1 from the 15th of April. Super boring. Okay, I mean, we're still dealing with a situation in which I call that a wave 4. I'm actually thinking about maybe calling this a wave 2. That would be super bullish, but it would be too bullish, in my opinion, given that Ether hasn't really performed yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has performed, but it hasn't really moved up in a very impulsive way, not really outperformed Bitcoin, right? So I don't really want to call it another 1-2 setup there. Yeah, I'm thinking about alternatives because this wave 4 was very deep. It was deeper than ideal for a wave 4, and as you can clearly see, I mean, it broke support. Yeah, it broke support, it did that. Not a sustained break, but it's still, I mean, yeah, I mean, it moved. I mean, we had here this 2,976 level. I mean, I did warn about that, right? That there's a high chance of it breaking. It was not sustained, but still moved like 6 to 7% below support. That's quite substantial. And then again, okay, it formed a higher low, but it did not really respect that 50% retracement level that well. So therefore, I'm thinking maybe the overall assumption on this chart needs to be revised. I'm not bearish or anything, but it's more like maybe this is not a wave 4 or maybe a different wave degree. But that's secondary. I have to work on that. Looking at the smaller time frame, this is not affecting anything. So looking at the smaller time frame, this is literally just a corrective price range. Ideally, the low is in yellow here, ideally, but I can't really confirm it yet without a break to 3,770 because this is a 3-wave move up. I always need 5 waves to indicate the trend direction. Without having 5 waves in any direction, you just see back-to-back corrective price action. Could turn into a triangle, could turn into anything. But my working thesis here is that in the yellow count, we're working on a diagonal pattern as highlighted in yellow. The parameters haven't changed since the last video. So as I said, the key breakout point is still at $3,300 and the micro support area is defined between $2,941 and $3,088. So in any pullback, this area ideally holds and would be used as a jump off point for a C wave rally higher, wave C of 3. But for now, there is no sign of a pullback, okay? But the move up is corrective. Now, it makes sense. I mean, this wave count in yellow makes sense. I have, if I consider that a diagonal, then we have a wave 1, a wave 2. This here looks like a diagonal pattern in an A wave. We could get a B wave pullback, but need a break below the trend line. Pay attention to that if you're trading the micro. And then this support area needs to hold. If it does, a C wave rally in 5 waves could unfold and reach 3,624, which is the first ideal target for a third wave. Bear in mind, there should be a resistance at 3,400, and then wave 5 should reach 3,770. I mean, if we don't adhere to these parameters, if those targets aren't reached, then we're dealing with a corrective structure most likely, and it will be highly likely that we break down again. But it's not... I wish I had a more reliable view. I wish I had I could clearly tell you this is what it is, but I can't because we're just looking at back-to-back corrective price action. So we have to remain patient. If we get one more low, okay, and that would become more likely with a sustained break below 2,940, then I think we're testing the lower support regions there, 2,790, 2,600, 2,500. At the moment, nothing's happening really, so yeah, just ranging between the communicated levels. That's my update about Ethereum. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.